My name is Ashari, and I'm here with Nick from Picture Atlantic.
You cried so very softly at the park when I left, and I knew I'd ruined it all. So I built a wall to keep you far away. I raised it out of lies, lame excuses. I really shouldn't care, still somehow I do. Found your plane tickets down, broke my empty.
I saw this band last week at Zombie Arama, and since then I have literally not been able to stop listening to them. They are so just cool, like one of the most talented bands I've ever seen live. And I actually sort of prefer live. Listening to your music, I was like, oh, I loved it a lot more live.
Some people say that actually, so yeah.
Yeah, you prefer live.
Yeah.
So could you tell me about your
We'll wait for the plane and then start over. You can just smash edit it.
yeah, so many interruptions. Can you tell me about your individual music and how it led you to this band?
Just like each member? Or just myself?
You can start with yourself.
Okay. For myself, I just, a babysitter of mine taught me to play some chords on guitar, and when I was like 10, and from then on I just kind of stuck with it over the years. I didn't really start taking it seriously until maybe about 2003, 2002, and I just started playing guitar in the worship band at my church, and I really had no intention of like becoming a musician. I actually wanted to get into acting and was doing acting classes and
Oh, interesting.
doing plays, yeah. So obviously that didn't happen. So now I'm just doing music, and spent a lot of time playing on my own in coffee shops. And because of that, the band they were trying to form Picture Atlantic, and they knew that I played music with my friends, and so like you should sing for us, just to like. I think they just didn't have any other options unless they wanted really bad singers who sounded like Me Fan Glory. So I think they just were like, let's try something slightly different. And they asked me to sing, and that's how I got into the band. Otherwise, the other guys have just been playing in local bands on their own. And they, again, like, I think everybody in the band started when they were really young. Our drummer Daniel started playing guitar when he was 4, actually. And then he started learning drums kind of maybe in middle school, and has been playing since then. Our keyboard player Brian has been playing piano since he was like 10. And Ryan, our bass player, has been playing bass since he was in maybe like 6th or 7th grade, I think. Probably more like 7th grade. And they could probably give you more background, but yeah, we've all been playing music since we were kids, basically.
Well, I was going to ask you, have you ever had any voice lessons at all? Because I was showing a lot of people your music, and I heard from a lot of people you have a great range. Like,
Oh,
voice.
thank you.
Yeah.
You know, I have taken lessons since I started singing, but I only took like 2, just because there's, like warm-ups that you can learn, and I also just wanted to learn how not to hurt my voice. So I started doing a couple lessons after, but I never took singing lessons. I just sang on my own. I would say my singing lessons were me singing along to music in my room, definitely.
Right. Nice. So how did you guys all end up meeting? And how did you grow up with each other? Or?
I went to school with our bass player, and he asked me to join, and that's basically what happened. I mean, it was as simple as that. It wasn't like there was some mystical meaning or anything. It was just a basic like, hey, we should just play music together and see what happens.
Okay. So what were your musical influences?
When I first started playing music, I was listening to a lot of like Nick Drake and Damien Rice and Sandra Lerche. And just a lot of like singer-songwriter type guys. But then I was also listening to bands like Interpol and Coldplay and Radiohead. And
I thought that was my cameraman walking off. I was like, wait, what?
same guy in a red sweater.
Yeah. How would you describe your overall genre?
I can't. I really can't. And not that's sort of a might sound like a pretentious thing to say, but I just genuinely don't know what you would describe our music as. But
sometimes that's my favorite thing about an artist. I just can't describe them.
Yeah, totally. I think there are some bands, some of my favorite bands, you can't really describe them. Even if there's little bits and pieces of other bands, you could say, oh, that kind of sounds like this.
Right.
It's like there's this core element there. So I know that for sure we're definitely like pop music. I wouldn't say that we're like art rock or anything dumb like that. But I definitely wouldn't say that we're just rock and roll. I feel like rock and roll now is pretty dumbed down. Like, it's dummy music in my opinion. Just it's a lot of just power chords and sort of same like content matter over and over again. So I'd say we're a little bit more than just rock and roll. But our bass player came up with a phrase. He coined a phrase, "whip pop."
Because I think I've seen that somewhere.
Yeah.
About you guys.
Yeah, which is kind of sort of play on the term Britpop because we all really like Britpop music. So yeah, but that's the best I could describe it as whip pop. Probably the closest.
So tell me about Digital Tension. Is this your guys' first full-length album?
Oh no, not at all. We actually have we had put out a full-length album in 2008. It's called Kleos.
Okay.
And we've had 3 EPs since then, and then this is our first full length in about 3 years or so.
Okay, so did it take 3 years to write it, or was it?
Yes and no. We had some lineup changes way earlier on, and then also I just don't think we were at a place as a band where we could really kind of cohesively like get together and put our focus on making a new album. So. It could have taken sooner, but I think it actually happened at the right time, personally, because we just reformed the band. So it's just kind of like we just kind of were like able to be a band again, and so.
Alright. That's nice. So can you explain the artwork for that album?
The artwork is there's a lot of artwork to the album actually, but our main cover is probably the one that you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Our friend Mikey did that actually. He's an amazing artist. He is the shop manager over at Current Tattooing in San Jose.
Okay.
And we hang out there a lot, and I do hang out there a lot. And Ryan, our bass player, wanted to do pictures for the album artwork, but I was wanting to do more art because I feel like pictures are kind of like a one-trick pony. It's like, oh, here's a picture. It's not like really anything beyond just the picture. So I was like, what if we did pictures and art mixed together? So the idea was to do collage artwork. Because I have a friend, Dave, who's an amazing collage artist, and that's all he does is just collage art. So we just got together and kind of decided that we would cut up magazines like Time Magazine, National Geographic, anything that had to do with politics or technology, anything that was like kind of current.
So you both worked together to create that?
He did actually the entire thing. We each did a panel. That was about a 14 by 8 panel or whatever. It's like, a big art panel, and he did.
We're like in an airplane.
We are. The airport is just over yonder. But yeah, we each did a panel, and they were pretty big panels. And so I did one. I did 2. The rest of the guys did 1, and then Mikey did 2. And that was the one that he did, and I was like, that looks like a cover to me. It's got like Obama giving the middle finger, so I feel like that's a pretty like iconic.
It was interesting.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm sure there's all kinds of things you could read into that, but I think we just did it because it looked funny, and also because it was sort of making a statement about like modern era. But
You don't want to get all into that right now.
I mean, yeah, no, it's not worth it at this point.
Okay, so what does the future hold for Picture Atlantic?
I don't know. God willing.
Any plans right now?
God willing, we'll just tour more and.
Oh, speaking of touring.
Yeah.
I have to ask about Coldplay.
We just played one show with them.
I know,
Yeah,
but
so
still.
it was fun. It was cool.
How did that? I mean, that was cool. Like that's a big deal.
Well, the thing is, though, we sort of get asked that all the time, and it's
sorry.
sort of no, it's fun. It just to sort of explain it, it's like that was a cool moment in our band, but it actually didn't define our band. At the time, we sort of thought, oh, we're gonna get signed, and all this big stuff's gonna happen because somebody in the crowd's gonna see us, and we were very naive and sort of just like inexperienced thinking. It was good. It opened a lot of doors, but at the same time, it actually did nothing for us beyond just having that as like on our sort of like resume of things. That we played with some pretty big bands actually, but I always try. We played with Say Anything. We did Say Anything. We also played with Isley.
That's so cool.
And that was the same.
Isley is isn't that his girl's band?
Yeah, his wife is one of the Dupree sisters. They probably have a little piano for a baby, I think.
Yeah, right? Oh man, that's so cool.
Yeah, so we opened for that, and that was a couple dates on that tour. We also played with Dan Black, who's a musician that I really like.
Dan Black.
Dan Black was really
I
cool.
love that song he did with Kid Cudi, Symphonies.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, coincidentally, he was the singer and guitar player of another band called The Servant, and they were a band like around '98 to like 2003, and I was really into them, and that's actually how I heard about Dan Black. He also played with Jaguar Love, which is the singer of the Blood Brothers like new band that he's doing and stuff, and then. This Sunday, we're opening for that band Styx. They're like a really big '80s band.
Really?
At this mountain winery. So.
Should be interesting.
Yeah, they have that song. I don't know anything about them, but they have that song "Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto." Yeah, so.
That should be really fun.
It's gonna be weird, but yeah. I mean, Coldplay was cool, but I don't really know what to say because I'm not a person that gets like starstruck very easily, and so I'm just like, it was like nice to meet them, and I got to talk to their bass player for a little bit, and that was the most exciting part of the show, was talking to their bass player for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's something definitely to be proud of. But you have a lot of other bands that's really amazing.
Yeah, we've opened for some solid bands, which sort of makes me have some hope that we're not a horrible band, that bigger bands want us to play with them. So
I just know I've showed your guys' music to a lot of people around my life, and I've just said this band, like, I just know that they're gonna. I don't know. I'm just passionate like that. When I love something, I have to like spread the word.
Thank you. That's exactly what the music industry and the music scene needs right now. I think people aren't doing enough of that, and that's why good bands aren't getting discovered.
Right.
And I'm not talking about myself. I'm just saying like good bands that like really deserve to go somewhere.
Exactly.
For sure.
All right. Well, thank you very much. My blog can be found at commonpassion.tumblr.com, and you can find any of their music at pictureatlantic.com.
Thank you.